Good morning. Thanks for joining us on the press. Yes, we came a little bit behind schedule because of some technical issues, but we are glad to be here this morning. My name is Annie Benitier. Without wasting much time, let's go straight on now to our schedule on the show, which is the weather and, of course, the front pages of our newspapers. Today's topic is very apt for the moment. Once the phone lines are open, we implore you to call in and have your say. All right, let's start now with the weather report this morning. Let's see, we have quite a lot here. We're going to start from Edo State, which the place I usually start from. Now, rainy conditions are expected in Edo State today. Around afternoon, around 2 p.m. is expected to start raining. However, it is 82 degrees in Edo State this morning. At 10 a.m., it's expected to rise to 85 degrees. At 11, 87. At 12 p.m., 88. At 1 p.m., 89. And at 2 p.m., 89. Remaining at that status, wind gusts are up to 5 miles per hour. Highest temperatures predicted at 89 and lowest at 78. Delta is up next. Thunderstorms are expected from afternoon, 2 p.m. till about 4 p.m. in Delta State, with rain expected at about 4 p.m. Highest temperatures is predicted at 89 degrees and lowest at 78. So there you have it for Delta State. Expect lots of rain. That is if it's not raining already in the state. Bayelsa is next. Let's take a look at what Bayelsa has this morning in terms of weather. Rainy conditions are expected around 2 p.m. in Bayelsa State. Highest temperatures predicted at 88, lowest at 77. Wind gusts are up to 5 miles per hour. Let's go to Rivers. Rivers, thunderstorms are expected around 4 p.m. in Rivers State. Highest temperatures pegged at 88 degrees and lowest at 78. Wind gusts are up to 4 miles per hour in Rivers. It is 82 degrees past 9 a.m. in the state. All right, let's move on now to Enugu. We have Enugu this morning. Let's quickly take a look at what Enugu has. Rainy conditions expected in the afternoon in Enugu. Wind gusts are up to 7 miles per hour. It is 81 degrees past 9 a.m. in Enugu. Highest temperatures predicted at 89 degrees and lowest at 78. Imo is next. Imo, rainy conditions are expected in the afternoon around 3 p.m. in Imo State. Wind gusts are up to 5 miles per hour. This morning it is 82 degrees past 9 a.m. in Imo. Highest temperatures is 89 degrees and lowest is 77. All right, Benue State this morning. Rainy conditions are expected also in the afternoon. Wind gusts are up to 11 miles per hour in Benue. I hope we have Benue right there. Highest temperatures is 92 and lowest is 78 for Benue. We also have Plateau State. Plateau this morning. Let's take a look at what Plateau has. Rainy conditions are expected in the afternoon in Plateau. It is 77 degrees past 9 a.m. Wind gusts are up to 7 miles per hour. Highest temperatures pegged at 85 and lowest at 68. All right, Kano. We have Kano this morning. Wind gusts are up to 9 miles per hour in Kano. Highest temperatures pegged at 97 and lowest at 77. It is 84 degrees past 9 a.m. in Kano. Let's check if we have Kaduna this morning. Well, sure, we have Kaduna. Kaduna is 81 degrees past 9 a.m. Wind gusts are up to 9 miles per hour. Partly cloudy conditions are expected around this time in Kaduna. Highest temperatures 91 and lowest predicted at 74. So that's all we can take on our weather forecast report this morning. Let us go now to what the papers are saying. Take a look at the front page of our dailies this morning. And I start with the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper, the screaming headlines runs across most of the dailies today. It says State Police Bill lands in state assemblies. State police bill lands in state assemblies. We have like 3 or 4 riders to the story. Senate passes historic bill manually as electronic voting fails. Lawmakers back decentralized policing to tackle terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. Bill empowers governors to appoint police commissioners as Senate adopts safeguards against abuse. So there you have it. The state police bill has finally been passed. It has passed as 3rd reading. And, you know, we want to take a look at that this morning, hoping that my guests can, you know, paddle through the rain and the floods this morning to the studio so we can take a look at the impact analysis, if this will bring any change or improvement regarding our insecurity situation, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, farmer headers attack, whatever you know is going on in that space. We want to see how this would impact. A lot of people feel this won't create any new improvement, but rather is an avenue for fresh problems to build up. While people have their opinion, we want to find out from our guests if they do make it eventually, if this will make any change, if this is what we've been waiting for to solve our insecurity problems in Nigeria. We'll take a look at that when the time comes. Still on the front page of the Punch this morning, just beside the mast, 2027 race, Wike Turaki camps roll out parallel PDP candidates. 2027 is heating up. There's a lot happening in the political space. I don't know how this will play out for PDP. Most parties have their internal problems, but that of the PDP has gone on and on. This morning, the paper says they have 2 parallel candidates. Well, you and I are the ones on the sideline watching. Let's see how things play out until that day. We're all waiting, keeping our fingers and toes crossed to see how it goes. All right, EFCC to arraign Miyetti Allah leader in $2.53 million laundering probe. That's what we expect. Results, names, faces. You know, you say you're fighting insecurity. It seems it's been done in obscurity. We don't have the details. We don't have faces to those who sponsor, those who launder. You know, we really want faces. We want to see, we want to get your names and follow the cases to a logical conclusion, and those who need to go to be, you know, who need to pay for what they've done are actually made to do so. So we have a name this morning, no name, but we have a direction towards where the discussion is going. It says Miyetti Allah leader. That's all we hear, but no name. Hopefully we'll get to hear the names later. Now, reps extend probe of airport, seaport concessions. Abduction crisis, Oyo begs NUT to end school shutdown. ISIS funding, federal government set to charge US-sanctioned BDC operator. Petrol remains pricey as crude crashes to $73. Top banks raise tech budget by 43% in fourth quarter. All right, if you're interested on the stories, just make sure you grab a copy of the Punch so you can read more of the stories. Now let's take a look at the Guardian. We have the Guardian this morning. It says Senate clears path for state police, retains federal oversight guardrails. Senate clears path for state police, retains federal oversight guardrails. That's on the Guardian this morning. Still on the Guardian, just below the mast, federal government backs U.S. sanctions on Nigerians, BDCs linked to terror financing. Nigeria targets 277 power. Can't see that properly. All right, let's move away from that. Presidency detached from reality, says opposition after Onanuga's no hunger remarks. Presidency detached from reality, says opposition after Onanuga's no hunger remarks. Yes, indeed. Sometimes we wonder where the statistics we see on the front page of our papers are gotten. You know, the white paper, the green paper, the blue paper, believe me, they do not address the elephant in the room. We are the ones on the street, and when government comes with this report, we look ourselves, you know, in the eye and wonder who gives the analysis, and that's exactly what is happening here. Presidency detached from reality, says opposition after Onanuga's no hunger remarks. If anyone says, any Nigerian can boldly say to the world that there is no hunger in the country, then I mean, I don't know. It's really, I don't know. Sometimes you find it difficult to understand how these people think. Are we the ones who lack reality, or they are the ones who lack reality? For anyone to come out and say that there is no hunger in Nigeria, there's a question mark on that person's head, and we need to look closely to see what is going on, because there's definitely something wrong. All right, we're moving on. Osun 2026, police meet military, INEC political parties over rising violence. Away from that, El Rufai arraigned on fresh charges, bail ruling fixed for July 1st. The El Rufai saga is still on. We're following the story. We'll bring you updates as they unfold right here on Kaftan television. Xenophobia, federal government evacuates another batch of Nigerians from South Africa. Let students return to schools, or your government urges NUT. All right, let's move on to more papers in no particular order. The Daily Times. Let's take a look at the Daily Times. New terror group Sai Malam emerges in Kebbi. Government notifies IGP. Sai Malam. New terror group Sai Malam emerges in Kebbi. Government notifies IGP. All right, we have more stories. EFCC to arraign Bello Bodejo over alleged 2.53 million terrorism financing. There you have it. There's a face now and there is a name. Yeah, we should clap. I'm happy. There's a face, there's a name. We want to see more faces. We want to see more charges. We want to see a list of those who sponsor or are alleged to sponsor terrorism, their names and their pictures on our front pages, so we can follow and know what is going on. This is what we've called for. It's happening eventually, and we are very happy. Now, beside that story, CBN mops up 11 trillion naira as investors rush 4.7 trillion naira into high-yield OMO bills. All right, we're moving on. Senate passes bill to alter constitution in favor of state police. All right, let's move on to the Whistler. The Whistler newspaper. The Whistler this morning, U.S.-Iran ceasefire. Crude slump puts Nigeria's 1,200 naira per litre petrol price under scrutiny. We have two writers to the story. Historical price dynamics peg PMS around 960 naira per litre. Trump orders probe into alleged U.S. gas price gauging. All right, above the mast, World Cup, how Messi, Ronaldo, others shattered 20 records in 12 days. For those who love sports, I know the frenzy in that arena right now. Those who follow Ronaldo, Messi, this is indeed iconic, and you know, we give them kudos. Now, Kano Max Asman Varsity 50 properties inland document crackdown. Nigeria loses 23 trillion naira to building collapses, construction safety failure. Right, NDLEA raids Oyo Forest, arrest Mexican, 4 others. NDLEA raids Oyo Forest, arrest Mexican, 4 others. Lawmakers raise concern as Senate passes state police bill, fear possible abuse by president governors. That's exactly what we're saying. While some see this as the solution we've been waiting for to fight insecurity, others are skeptical about it, as they say, you know, as usual, we abuse, you know, this new bill being passed if we go through with it. Well, we're expecting our guests to come, of course, you two to call in to have your say when it counts. Now, let's take a look at Voice of Liberty. Voice of Liberty this morning, Senate passes state police bill, empowers governors to appoint police commissioners, give directives. Above that story, federal government discovers major platinum lithium deposits in Kaduna. Yes, this is the land flowing with milk and honey, Nigeria, the greatest nation on earth. We have all that it takes to be what our name and our destiny has put in place for us, the greatest nation on earth, where you have natural human resources, all kinds just flowing, you know, like milk on the surface and below the earth. But unfortunately, ellipsis. All right, let's move on. Still on the Voice of Liberty. All right, I think we're done with the Voice of Liberty. Let's move on to the Hope. The Hope. Hope says, finally, Senate passes state police bill. The governor gains power to appoint commissioner of police subject to assembly approval. Bill now awaits ratification by state assemblies. That's on the Hope this morning. All right, let's move on to New Telegraph newspaper. New Telegraph newspaper says, Senate passes state police bill, adopts a manual roll call after e-voting glitch. Political leaders now architects of instability, alleges ex-DSS director. Federal government commits 217 billion naira to medical education, target healthcare transformation. Just below the mast, again caught, I can't see that, my eyes, no, I need glasses, so. All right, I think we are done because I can hardly pick out the font on the New Telegraph. We're having calls already. This is not time for calls. There'll be time for calls. Please, when it is required, ensure you call then. Now, the paper, the next paper we're taking is the First Daily newspaper this morning. The First Daily says, a new policing era. Senate approves state police empowers governors to appoint commissioners. First Daily newspaper. Just beside the mast, Atiku to Tinubu, stop blaming Nigerians for insecurity. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll continue with the papers. Please stay with us.
In Abuja.
The main agenda here is the promotion of made in Nigeria products.
Could this trigger the much-needed change in the telecom industry for better service delivery?
Welcome to Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
A golden opportunity for the country to showcase its potentials among Committee of Nations. Now, here comes the body, accompanied by her husband from India, where she has been receiving treatment. Total liberalization of the communication sector will bounce back in view of the sentimental attachment to it by Nigerians. The need for the players of the industry to still put their acts together to consolidate on the previous efforts has therefore become imperative.
That popular saying that necessity is the mother of invention is beginning to have effect on Nigeria for good.
Reporting from Dubai.
Hello, I am Ruben Okala. I have not retired. I am refiring at Kaftan TV. And as you see on Kaftan TV, get back to work.
Yes, welcome back. It is still the press, and we're still going through the front pages of our papers this morning. And let's take a look now at the Daily Monitor newspaper. The Daily Monitor newspaper this morning has the same story, the screaming headlines on most of our papers this morning. Senate passes state police bill, empower governors to appoint commissioners. Let me see if my eyes can pick the front of the rider. Incorporates safeguards in bill aimed at protecting political freedoms, civil liberties. Kaduna governor allays fears of possible abuse of state police. All right. Terrorist financiers have no safe haven in Nigeria's financial system, says federal government. Welcomes U.S. sanctions on Nigerian BDC operators for alleged terrorism financing. Above the mast, Africa hopes key to world's industrial future. Tinubu warns against Africa remaining only a supplier of raw materials while others capture the value. Now, it's ironic, right? It's because that's exactly what is happening in Nigeria, not just Africa. You probably should have used Nigeria as a case study. Not Africa at all. We first of all start from home before we look outward, right? You start internally before you look outward. We still import fuel. We import fuel. We import fuel in a country that imports fuel, a country where we have everything to, we have how many refineries? We've been trying to refurbish, repair the refineries. We have the raw fuel. We send it over. It is cleaned up. We bring it back. I don't see why, we shouldn't start internally before talking about Africa, as it were. We do the cashew here. We send the cashew nuts. They clean it up, and we import cashew. The raw cashew. We bring it in. The country where we import toothpicks. I don't know. I don't know if you agree. So that is a reality. The Matrix is our next paper. Okay, I've been told that we need to go on another short break. Stay with us. When we return, more for you. Stay with us. Yes, thanks for staying with us. It is a special edition indeed on the show today. As you know, it's been raining cats and dogs. When it rains like that, you bet that, you know, we'll definitely have issues from guests finding it difficult to get to the station, you know, getting materials, getting network or signal. You know, it just mounts up, and sometimes it happens. But my joy is, no matter what happens, we keep pushing. We bring the show, and because we know that you're going to be there waiting for us to follow issues as they unfold. We have 1 or 2 papers. I have a guest in the house already expecting the other guest, but we're about to round off now on our papers. The Nigerian Tribune also is on ground this morning. State Police Senate passes bill, empowers governors to appoint CPs. That is on the Nigerian Tribune. This day newspaper has a different story. This day says, "Mbato criminals, you can run but cannot hide." That is on the front page of this day. Leadership newspaper, State Police closer becoming reality as Senate passes bill. Daily Trust, State Police gains ground as Senate passes bill. Authority newspaper, Senate passes State Police bill with safeguard against governors' abuse. The National Reform UK MSP, okay, that is an international paper. The Daily Independent is the last paper. DMO ramps up domestic debt, raises 1.2 trillion naira via federal government bonds. That is on the Daily Independent. On that note, we come to the end of our front pages this morning. We'll take just a tiny 1-second break, and when we return, we'll start our discussion. Stay with us. Yes, thanks for staying tuned. We're about to start our discussion. Like I told you, I have a guest this morning. We're taking a look at insecurity. Senate passes State Police Bill impact analysis. But first, my analysis. Now, the Nigerian Senate has passed a constitutional amendment bill seeking to establish state police, marking a significant step towards overhauling the country's security architecture. The proposed legislation, which scaled a third reading, aims to empower individual states to create and manage their own police forces alongside the federal police. Lawmakers say the move is designed to address persistent security challenges across the country, including banditry clashes. Proponents of the bill argue that decentralizing policing will enhance intelligence gathering, improve rapid response to local threats, and strengthen community-based law enforcement. They also maintain that state police will allow governors to take greater responsibility for security within their jurisdictions. However, the proposal has faced criticism from some stakeholders who fear it could be abused by state governments to target political opponents or suppress dissent. The bill is part of a broader set of constitutional amendments being considered by the National Assembly. It is expected to be transmitted to the House of Representatives for concurrence before being sent to state assemblies for ratification in line with constitutional requirements. Right. This is our focus on the press this morning. Topic: Insecurity. Senate passes State Police Bill. We'll take a look at the impact analysis. But let me introduce my friend who is our guest. He is Alhaji Sani Ahmed, the political and social analyst. He is an indigene of Bojo village in Daurat local government area of Katsina State and the executive director of Leadership Hausa Online Limited. It's so nice to have you once again on the press.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. The last time we were here, we were not able to have our discussion to a logical conclusion, but hopefully today we'll do that. We're expecting your friend, another guest, to be on the show. We do hope she's able to make it. So, finally, the police bill has passed its third reading. State police bill lands in the state assemblies, as it were. Insecurity in Nigeria has become beyond Hydra-headed. We just discovered today that there's a new group, terror group in Nigeria called Sai Malam. Kebbi State just gave us that information. That's the one we know. We do not know those that have not been identified, but what we know is the nation has been held under siege by people who do not want to see peace in the country. Your state of mind on insecurity before we go further into this police bill matter.
It's all right. Good morning, Nigerians. You see, these issues of insecurity, it is a kind of individual or collective responsibilities that we need to come together and see how we can, because we are all victims of such insecurity. Even if you are living in the cities, your brothers, your sisters, your people were in the villages, and they are suffering from these issues of insecurity. And if we allow it to continue, it will meet every one of us that are living in the cities. We have been telling the government, we are not in the government, but we have to tell them, okay, now this is what we see, that if you use this mechanism, it will reduce the issues of this kind of insecurities. For instance, now, you will see almost 70 to 80% of those terrorists, they are mainly using bikes. In all their attacks, in everywhere, you see them using bikes. Who are those importing those bikes? Are they the common men of this country, or they are the, big men of this country? So we have to look at it. Okay, since this is the route, this is what they are using to conduct this kind of atrocities. Okay, why can't the federal government, in the first place, put a kind of ban to those, truths? Because these are the #1 truths they use in their operations. No terrorists in, especially northwestern Nigeria, that can use bikes, that can use cars or vehicles or keke napep, or these big car, to carry out this kind of attacks. Nonsense. But the only thing they use, the tool they use, is these bikes. Why can't the federal government, because I believe is something that beyond the state governors. Okay, let the federal government come in and say, okay, let's put to end to this importation of these bikes. This is the time frame for, everyone that has bikes to take it out from so state. From now to 1 month or from now to 2 weeks, we don't want to see any bikes in our state. And once we see anyone with bikes, that means it's a completely 100% terrorist, and he has no reason to say, no, this is why I'm using bikes. Because life is very important. When you talk about people who suffer in the absence of bikes, then we ask you, okay, can you sacrifice your life because you don't want to suffer? It's better for you to spend a day and night walking on the street before you reach your destination than to be killed. So if the government can look at this aspect, because I wrote this to the Minister of Defense, I wrote this to the Inspector General of Police, that look, sir, this is the only contribution we can contribute to this country, because we are not here, but we have to forward our contribution. This is what we, as a citizens of this country, this is what we look at it as. Yes, once the government is, put a kind of concentration on these to eradicate the issues of insecurity. Once you ban this, the use of motorcycle, you have gotten the insecurity. To me, to what I'm looking at the scenario of what is going on, especially in my region, because I know what is happening there, and the whole world can witness to that, that all this kind of nonsense are going on bikes. So to me, let the government put a kind of consideration on this. I have been advocating for this since around 2021.
That's a long time.
Yeah, yes, very well. If I can remember, I sent a kind of direct interview to my state governor then, Aminu Bello Masari, to look, try this aspect, try this mechanism. It will help to flush out these issues on insecurity.
Now talking about the stopping bike scenario that you've given, I remember in Lagos State there was at one point, not just Lagos State, some other states have, they've actually banned Okada in code. That's what we call bike riders in Nigeria, Okada riders, because again in the state they were using bikes to rob. The armed robbers were using bikes to rob unsuspecting innocent Nigerians. You're standing at a bus stop, somebody snatches your purse, even top robbery attacks. They come with bikes. You don't suspect them because they're not carrying big vehicles. And we've had instances like that. Because what we're looking for are solutions, but it's shocking that you've written since 2021. This is 2026, and yet no one has listened to the solution. So every time we're told, oh, security is everyone's business. I know that a lot of people too have written to to the appropriate bodies, authorities, security architecture on solutions on fighting banditry, fighting terrorism, hands down. But it appears that, these advice or suggestions are not being taken.
Yeah, you see, I was surprised, and I just have to, this is a risky advice, but we have to say it, even if it will cost us whatsoever.
Some pain, short-term pain to get the solution.
You see what happened in Borno State when the issues of this Boko Haram started. The first thing the government did was to suspend the use of bikes, because they used that bikes not to kidnap them, but they just
for movement.
Kill their targets and go with the bikes. So when the government stopped the bikes, that is the end of the attacks. They now go back to the forest and continue their things, though the government are trying to do their best. But the issue of these bikes, to me, as a Nigerian, I look at these issues of bikes as the 75% of our insecurity in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Yes.
If you just joined us, here's the press. Please let's display the phone lines on the screen. You can call in. While we were doing the newspaper review, we had calls coming in. Now you can call in and be part of the discussion. As to take a look at insecurity, Senate has passed the state police bill. We want to take a look at the impact analysis of that. Now, going to the conversation of the state police bill, a lot of people, reactions and feelings are divided. There are some people that are for, there are some people that are not. Unfortunately, I don't have my other guest here. I don't know where you stand. Are you for? Are you against? Because a lot of Nigerians feel this is the answer we've been waiting for, while others say no. Governors will override this decision, use it to fight. Politicians will override it, use it to fight their opponents and all whatnot. So first, where do you stand? Are you for? Are you against this bill? Let's take a look at the impact.
So as an APC man,
here we go.
I can say
here we go again.
I have just 50-50.
Okay.
I'm in 50 and I'm against 50.
Please, let's hear.
The fall of it is, as an APC man, I know this state police is a kind of credit to our democracy in Nigeria.
Okay.
Because the federal government now have agreed to allow the governors to see how they can operate their insecurities, how they can, put their hands directly and control the insecurity affecting their state, which is a plus to our democracy. democracy. If you go to America, this is what is going on. And, you know, when you talk about U.S., their democracy is around 200 and plus
50.
years. Yeah, 250 years. So now they have the state police, and now we are following their footsteps on that aspect. That when you talk about the democracy, I can say, yes, we are now, we have a plus under the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, we have something. But in the other aspect, I look at it as we will suffer for it, definitely, because the governors, definitely they are going to use it as a kind of tools to oppress the oppositions. That is number one. Number two, you see, we are complaining about the issues of taking laws into our hands. We can see recently what happened in Kaduna when a lady was killed. So this kind of taking laws into our hands is not only for the ordinary citizens, even from the authorities, we have these kind of cases. Now, my fear is that when the police, state police were there, they should not be relaxed and say, okay, now we are just under our governor and we can do everything we want to do. No, the federal government has nothing to do with us. No, the federal government is still around the state police. Why? Because once a state police make an arrest and prosecute it to the level of maybe, let's say, state high court or a magistrate court, from magistrate court appeal to state high court, from there it will jump up to federal, because any verdict of the state high court, even though the state high court are not under the control of the state governors, they are answerable to the NJC. But no matter what their verdicts, under the prosecution of state police, the case is still going to Court of Appeal, which is directly under the federal government. And the state governors may not have anything to do with the verdict of Court of Appeal, so also the Supreme Court. So those that are thinking maybe we are going to use the state police to do what we want, because yes, today we are the ones in charge of all what happened within our state, they should have the second thought of, yes, this matter, it will go to the extent of jumping from your state down to federal level, so that you should have it in mind that whatsoever you do here, it may change in the appellate court. So that is the other issues of a prosecution. And the issues of taking laws into our hands, not only ordinary Nigerians, as I said. We saw what happened in Delta State recently when one ASP Usman or something like that killed in the public, killed one suspect. With the suspect saying, I will tell you the truth, I will tell you the truth. But maybe he don't want the public or to the government to know the truth, he now eliminated him. In law, there is no offense that a Nigerian, a citizen of this country can commit that will warrant a police officer or an army to kill him after arresting him. No, that offense. We don't have it in Nigeria. No matter what the offense you committed, you are to be
innocent until proven guilty.
Very well.
There's room for it. It's based on allegations.
Based on allegations.
So you give the person room to defend himself.
Even if the offense was committed in the presence of a judge, and the person was brought to court with even the gun he met that offense or the knife, the judge will still ask him,
are you guilty or not guilty?
Or not guilty? Even if he saw the judge when committing the offense, is this as his own liberty to say, yes, my lord, I have committed the offense, or I did not committed the offense. And if at the end of it, the prosecution counsel cannot be able to,
judge his case beyond reasonable doubt.
The judge will end up allowing the suspect to go, because they are not be able to give
the proper evidence. Yes.
So that is that aspect. You see, like my state in Katsina State, these issues of these people that we are having Sea-Watch, community Sea-Watch, I used to tell it's like this state police now, because they are under the leadership of the governor of a state. once they arrested a suspect, they interview him and they kill him without prosecution. So now this is part of the reason why this insecurity is still pending in those states, because once you make an arrest and the brothers or the relatives of such person are much aware that yes, you have arrested their person,
whether he's guilty or not.
Whether he is guilty or not, no matter what his offense, the law says you should take him to court, take him to the appropriate authority. The Sea-Watch are not to investigate or to prosecute. They are to arrest and hand over to the police.
To the police.
Then the police should prosecute. So, but now, they are judges on their own. I have a lot of incidences that happen in Katsina State where before after granting interview, and you know, these kind of interviews, you don't know what happened there, but somebody will be videoing, saying, yes, I'm the one that committed this offense, I'm the one that committed this offense, but you don't know what happened. Behind the scene.
Yeah, what's going on behind the scene, behind the cameras, as it were. I understand where you're going.
A lot of things are happening. Like the case of Wadumi of Taraba State, when this IRT brought him before the camera, he confessed that, yes, I am a social person, I commit this, I commit that, I'm into this, I'm into that, I'm a kidnapper. All of this, he said it behind the camera. People, the citizens of Nigeria are accusing, this one, he's supposed to be killed, blah, blah. Before you know, the court discharged him of all these offenses, because behind the camera, there are a lot of things that happen, which the Nigerians will not see it. You will not see it in the camera. So these things happens in my state. When there are some of the, even these chiefs, villages that they were accused of, you know, taking bandits to bail from the police. That is their offenses. But the issue is, somebody that is a village head, he is living far, maybe around 50 kilometers away from the police, and now police have arrested a bandit. And now the police says you are granted bail and you are to bring a chief, village chief to come and stand for you as a shorty. Whose offense is that? Because the village head must come and stand as a shorty to that bandit, because he is more closer to the bandits than to the authorities. And once he, you know, he signed as a shorty to those bandits, those security watch will come out after him and say, you are
aiding and abetting.
But in the first place, are the police supposed to grant
bail to terrorists? No.
The answer is no. So if you cannot blame the police, then you should not blame the person that come and stand for you as a shorty.
If you just joined us, it is the press as we discuss the latest Senate passing state police bill. We're taking an impact analysis of that development right now. My guest is in the house. The phone lines are on your screen. Please call in. You were calling when it wasn't time. It is now time for you to call in and be part of the conversation. The feeling has gone both ways. You know, there are people that are for and there are people that are against state police in Nigeria, and we've been able to identify some of the problems that may arise with state policing, you know, so we're still taking a look at that, and my guest is still doing justice to that. But I would really love you to call in and have your say on the show. So we're taking a look at both sides of the discourse.
Yes.
We already know that whether we like it or not, there are some people that will ride this horse until it cannot breathe again. What direction should this take? Do you think this latest development, having state police, will change anything? Are we going to achieve anything when we have a normal police force that is supposed to be one we run to for situations like this?
Yes.
Do you see this new trend that is evolving making any impact on security or insecurity wahalas?
Yes, definitely. There must be a kind of progress. Definitely there is a progress on this state police. Why? Because Now, the police we have, let's say, let me use my state, Katsina State. They were all answerable to the federal government, and they may be transferred from this state to another. They have that in mind, so they may not focus in the state, because all they are thinking is maybe today I may be transferred to Lagos, I may transfer to social state, but now they have a focus on the particular state they are. Let's say now the Katsina State Police. The Katsina State Police now, it is their duty. They know all the routes. Let's say from Zamfara, any road that comes to Katsina is their duty now to stay there and protect the boundaries, the neighboring boundaries from Katsina, Sokoto, and that is the only area we are having much issues. So now it's their duty. It's not under the federal government now. Okay, it's the state. And the second part of it is, let's say the Emir of Katsina, if you ask him to call every Fulani that is living in Katsina State today, let's say, okay, who is Alaji or who is the heart of such local government? I want to see you today. They will all come. And from there, okay, who are those operating in these areas? These are the people. Okay, we don't want this thing to continue now. This is now under the state government. We are not arresting anyone now to take to Abuja. We are not arresting anyone to take to police zone 14 or whatsoever zone. This is our state, and we should focus on our state to have peace in our state. Let Zamfara deal with their own in their state. Let them protect their boundaries. So no boundaries now. From Zamfara, you cannot cross to Katsina. Okay. Yes. From Katsina, you cannot cross to Zamfara until we will have to a kind of.
Well, I'm sorry, we need to take a break. Okay. We need to take a quick break. Okay. When we return, the conversation will continue. Stay with us. Yes, thanks for staying with us. The discussion continues as we take a look at insecurity in the nation as the Senate passes state police bill. You know, the Senate has passed the police bill. We're taking a look at the impact this morning, trying to find out if there's going to be any change, any improvement in within the security architecture, as it were, if there will be any respite for us as Nigerians. And my guest is still here, as I asked if this new development, if it goes through eventually, if it will improve peace in the nation. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. As I was saying, you see, like my state, Katsina State, we have two emirs. We have the Katsina State and we have Daura Emirate Council. And all these emirs, they have a kind of 100% control over their people in Katsina State. From the aspect, all these things that are happening, they are happening under the Katsina State Emirate, not under Daura Emirate. Yes, so now, in the Katsina State Emirate, the Emir of Katsina has a now duty, since now he has a state commissioner of police. He has his own state governor. Now is within their state. He knows how to, okay, who are the chiefs of these Fulani people that are operating in Katsina State. Like that, my zone, that Funtua zone, that is the main area we are having issues. So all those, even local government chiefs, they should be summoned, and he can control that, because now there is no any hiding place in Katsina State, because you cannot cross to Zamfara, you cannot cross to Sokoto State, you cannot cross to Niger. That one is even a no-go area. So now it's within the state. Try to cooperate and let's have peace in our state. Because now all the police, no one is expected to be transferred to another state. They are here now, they belong to the state, and they are here to work for the state. So I believe definitely we are going to get it right by so doing. Though my just fear is, let the state police not use their positions to be used, you know, against oppositions.
Now let's talk about recruitment.
The
recruitment into this new state. What process should it take? Because we've had a situation where you give amnesty to bandits, and we've heard that when these amnesties are granted, you resolve them. We've heard that some of these people have found themselves into the police force, into the army. We've heard that, you know, information leak out. Most of the attacks that, you know, these bandits or terrorists get information, you know, before, you know, we have moles in the system. Bottom line, we have moles in the system. How do we guarantee that these people are not recruited into this state policing architecture network, as it were, to guarantee that the results that we seek, we get it? How should the process be, in your opinion?
You see,
what should they look out for?
Like the issues of state police recruitment, I don't think it will be a much issue concerning the recruiting of the terrorists, because the only where I have issues is around that northeast. You see, there are two different terrorists we have. These Fulani, that is the bandits, they are mainly based on what they believe is their right, which have been, you know, deprived.
Okay.
Yes. So, and the kind of the maltreatment by the authorities, like before, you know, a Fulani will destroy a crops of, let's say, 100,000, he will be end up extorted the sum of maybe 2 million, 3 million, before you know, his cows has finished. A lot of things have going on. But in the northeast, the problem we have is intellectual war. What we have there is those that believe democracy is an infidel, is for the infidels. They can say, yes, we have lived that, but it's not true.
It's not true. Okay, we have a call. We have a call, son. Let's take this call.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, ma?
I'm good. What about you? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm doing fine. My name is Cletus. I'm calling from Kogi State.
Cletus, good morning. Hi there.
Fine.
Okay, go ahead.
My contribution to this state police issue is this. In this country, Nigeria, our lawmakers and some individuals are very good in making a proposal for a purpose. But to implement it, it becomes a crisis. It becomes a crisis more than even the purpose that motion is too moving for. This issue of state police, let me tell you, let me ask you one question, man. In those days when I was in police, that gentleman in the studio a question that what of this recruitment will not be an issue. He could not give me the true answer. It will be a serious issue. If today the federal police recruitment, now the senator have their own candidate, House of Reps have the candidate, the speaker have their own candidate, how will the police be?
Okay. So we appreciate that caller from Kogi State. He has said that you couldn't really answer the recruitment because, again, the Nigerian factor will come into place. We always have the Nigerian factor. There's always a different way to do things in Nigeria. The senator has candidate, this one has candidate. We will not even look at the right people to put in there because we want to squeeze our people in. Squeezing in round pegs into square holes, we squeeze it in. We do not care the results that we get. I want you to react to the man's call before we, say our bye-byes today. We really don't have time. You have just a minute to react to that.
It's all right. You see, it's a very simple. Now that we have state police, you see, if the federal government can suffer, let's say, for a month before they can recruit it nationwide. Now, when you say, okay, only state, they should have their own people within their state, I think it should be very easy for the governor to get those people he wanted to be. And now, no issue of, I know this one, I know this Senate, this is my candidate.
You think it's not going to happen?
No.
It will not happen.
It is not going to happen. Why? Because now the essence of creating the state police is because of the insecurities that we are having now today. So now you should know that, well, whoever is applying for that state police directly, he's going to confront the issues of insecurity we have. It's not that you are going to just have an office and relax there and be taking salary. No. Once you are employed, once you are recognized as a state police, down you are going down to the bush to go and confront the issue. Because the essence of creating the state police is to make sure that these issues of insecurity that disturb this country is normal. Yes. So the issue of employment, I don't think is
okay. We really don't have time anymore, but I wouldn't let you go until you talk to your people concerning our topic this morning in your dialect. That is your camera. Please go ahead and talk to your people.
So my people of this country.
In your language.
Okay. To kamar yanda muka ji dai al'umma mu wannan sha'ani na tsaro sha'ani ne da ya shafi kowa da kowa, kuma al'amari ne wanda ba wanda zai rungume hannu ya ce ai ni ba ruwana, ta shafi kowa, da wanda ke birni da wanda ke ƙauye. Dole mu haɗa kai mu kawo ƙarshen wannan matsala ta tsaro wadda ta addabi ƙasa da 'yan ƙasa baki ɗaya. Kuma ita gwamnati a ci gaba da ba ta haɗin kai wajen ganin cewa an yi nasara kan wannan harkoki na tsaro da suka addabi Najeriya a yau. Yanzu ana kokarin kawo state police, 'yan sandan jihohi. Waɗannan 'yan sandan na jihohi da za a kawo, ni a fahimta na za su karfafa ma gwamnati da kuma 'yan ƙasa ƙwarin gwiwa wajen ganin cewa an kau da wannan matsala na tsaro. Saboda duk in aka ce gwamna ne zai kawo 'yan ƙasa, 'yan jihar shi ne wannan, kai ka san wannan kai dan kurfi ne, wannan dan dutsen ma ne, wannan dan mashi ne, dole ne kai abin da zaka ga cewa jihar Katsina ta zauna lafiya, 'yan jihar Katsina an samu aminci ba tare da zuwa ana kakkashe su a yanda muke gani yanzu kullum yana faruwa ba. Da fatan Allah ya samu dace.
Thank you so much. My guest today, Alhaji Sani Ahmed, is a political and social affairs analyst as Executive Director of Leadership Hausa Online Limited. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you for coming despite all the stress this morning.
Thank you very much.
That's the show, people. Nigeria is what we call home, the greatest nation on earth, and we are the people. Let's keep Nigeria one. Let's keep it safe for you, for me, for generation yet unborn. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Anire Beniti.